greatest country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
All right, there we go. All right, that was a low.
Sorry about that.
I actually kind of like the fade a little bit there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today, and today is a very somber beginning
such a sad
of
day.
the Dear America show. Well, I mean, there's a lot of announcements to be made, so hold on to your butts. We got a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Today. First of all, we got to talk about Christie dropping out of the race. Round of applause. Yellow button, Todd, for that. Yeah, all right. Christie drops out of the race. Nikki Haley sucked, and we got to talk about Hunter Biden walking out of Congress. We got to talk about this Aaron Rodgers stuff going on.
Bro, we're loaded. We're loaded.
We are a loaded show. First, though, yesterday was a day, and I'll get into introducing everybody in a minute, but yesterday was a day of retirements. And so I feel like we need to start the show with an announcement of retirement of our own. Nope, not yet. Yep, not yet at all. There we go. All right, back to me. Okay, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about that since Todd did it. Nick Saban officially announces that he retired from the University of Alabama, hence the homage on the hoodie today. Nick Saban, so many memories for me. I mean, literally, I turned 37. So, I mean, he coached for 17 years at the University of Alabama. I mean, so many memories with my kids and all the above. Truly the best to ever do it.
The GOAT.
And don't worry, we're not going to talk about sports for forever.
No, we're not. But we can't not talk about this.
We have to give our respects to Coach Saban. Thank you, Coach, for 17 years of the most dominant program in the world. And Roll Tide for life. All right.
Roll Tide.
Now, back to some internal retirements that we need to talk about. It seems only fitting the day after Coach Saban retired to announce that I, Graham Allen, am officially leaving and retiring from Dear America. And I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that at all. You should have seen Todd's face when I said that.
Oh, man, I was fixing to take all this off and walk right out of that door and probably strike a match.
All right, but on a serious note, though, we do have someone. We told you guys we have a surprise. And we do have somebody to introduce you guys to. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to introduce to you for the first time ever on Dear America, not Mexican Tony. Tony, say hello to everyone.
Buenos días todos, ¿cómo están? Mucho gusto estar aquí con ustedes. Me da mucho orgullo estar aquí con ustedes, con el señor Graham y el señor Todd y también con el señor Zach. Y también si podemos platicar de muchas cosas aquí, políticas o muchas cosas de la casa o de películas o cualquier cosa, me daría mucho gusto a mí. Y quizás podemos hacer unas cosas como, no sé, o sea, será mucho orgullo para todos, yo creo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
There you have it.
We are excited to be broadcasting in Telemundo, and we are super pumped to have a representative of the Hispanic community.
Welcome.
That's obviously not Todd, who put himself on the screen when I said that. But
well, I mean, I kind of got
no. On a serious note, go back to Tony really quick. Tony, talk for real. Tony is in fact not an illegal immigrant. He is my brother-in-law. Tony,
look, everybody's
Tony,
like, translation, please.
Say hi for real.
Yo no te entiendo, ¿qué? Yo no sé. Estos gringos me trajeron de la calle. They took me off of the street. I don't know. I walk into work and all of a sudden they took me off the street.
All right. Before we get sued, go to all three of us here really quick. All right. So real quick, what is going on? So, ladies and gentlemen, Tony is in fact my brother-in-law. That is a real thing. Tony, say hi for real. There
Hello,
we go.
Everybody.
All right. So Tony is officially trying out for the hot seat chair today. And so many of you probably have probably started to figure it
Putting
out a
things
little
together.
bit. Producer Zach has made the decision to move on to another job opportunity. And with that, he's actually literally
Like,
right here.
right there.
He hasn't left yet. He's working with us to be able to continue this show without him. So we will do an official send-off for Zach when the time comes. But we want you guys to know that you're in good hands, and we actually kind of like this new dynamic. Tony, you're killing me with this. You can't see your eyes. It's like legit. You're in like some kind of
next Friday. The
yeah,
day,
yeah.
It's
What
awesome.
what you mean, Holmes? Like, I'll tell you, I love it. Anyway, so Tony, man, you guys, I really feel like you guys are gonna connect with Tony,
Yeah,
especially as we talk through this stuff. Tony's been with us for a while now in the office. He's just never been on camera before. Isn't that right, Tony?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, okay. So now it's time to get to the show. We hope you guys have survived the announcements there. But now it's time for business as usual. We need every single one of you to hit the like button on this video. The more you hit the like button, the more people see it. If this is your first time watching the show, we need you to hit the follow button. Comment in the live chat. Help us welcome Tony appropriately. Everybody say, welcome T, welcome not Mexican Tony. That's TMT, whatever, or no, NMT, excuse me. NMT. Help Tony feel some love in the chat there. And then if this video you think could offend someone in your life, make sure to send it there.
But just
way.
an administration note, there will be no hot seat Tony.
No.
It will always be.
It's Hot Seat Todd. Not Mexican Tony is the name that we're going with for right now until we get sued by somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I say something though? Can you
Absolutely,
please not send me any comments like I don't do landscaping, I don't do construction, I don't do any of that stuff. So that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys?
I'm
Do you guys
sorry,
see?
bro.
Do you
I'm
guys
sorry.
see why he's here already?
I'm
Look.
sorry. You're going to have to deal with it because
Oh
you're going to
my
get a
gosh.
lot,
Okay.
especially from this side of the room.
Hey, listen here. Look, so a bunch of people kept telling us you can't keep talking about the borders, you can't keep doing all this because you're a bunch of white dudes with beards.
Well, guess what?
Well, guess what, buddy? Now we've
Ta-da!
got the representative for the Hispanic community here. We are ready to be even more aggressive than ever before. All right. On top of that, for those of you who do care, I know that, he's not known to be a very good individual, but Bill Belichick also retired today. It's a very interesting thing that's going on. Like, it's like an end of an era
yeah.
in football,
I mean, it
college
really
football, all of this stuff. Pete Carroll.
Yeah, Pete Carroll's gone.
Retired.
Yeah.
Real quick, though, Tony is actually originally from Oregon. So, Tony, do you
Yes, sir.
think that Dan Lanning is going to be the new coach for Alabama?
Gosh, I hope not. Oregon is doing pretty well under Dan Lanning, and if he does go, I think Alabama would get a great coach over there with him. I hope they take Lane Kiffin, but
I've heard rumors that he's not going to do it, which means the short list is Kiffin, Sark, and Dabo.
Oh, my
there's
God,
a lot of
please
people
no.
that are down on it. But anyway, I know that you guys don't care about sports, so don't worry. We got a lot of stuff to talk about here. First of all, and I want to put this out here. No, that's not it. I did not put this Taylor Swift thing in the show. Again, Todd, tell the truth. Who put this Taylor Swift thing in here? Guys, I did not do it.
I'm just saying that I got a text message from Graham last night saying find something on Taylor Swift.
Dude, Jesus is what? Dude, we're going to open up a window so Jesus can look at you better.
No,
I'm telling
truth
you.
be told, I was scrolling last night. I come across this, and now that I'm sitting in a producer role, yeah, it made its way.
All right. Anyway, this is Cat Turd. What a complete moron. Breaking. Taylor Swift comments about how she feels about Joe Biden's presidency under their leadership. I guess Joe Biden's non-binary now. Under their leadership, I believe America has a chance to start the healing process it so desperately needs. I don't feel like I have anything else to really say
That's awesome.
about this kind of stuff.
Dude, come on.
How can you take
Tony?
I don't really know anything about her politics. What I do know is that I have a family full of girls that listen to her music often, and it's driving me freaking insane, man. She's just on my freaking Alexas all day long. So that's all I got to say about that.
It's a cult, man. It's a cult. All right. Last night was the town halls to end all town halls. Last night, DeSantis, Haley, and Trump all had town halls. There was really no DeSantis footage to bring to you guys because,
Really
as
not.
usual, in my opinion, he underperformed. And all the people that are paid to say DeSantis did a good job, they say, oh, DeSantis did an awesome job. No, he didn't. He sucked. Either way, but do we have different sheets of what's next? Because you keep pulling up things that are not
You're
next
going,
on this thing.
We all right, so
We have gone in order.
all right, so a couple things here, a couple administration notes. Number one, that's not in order. Number two, my camera buttons over here is CT, CZ, GZ. So now that I'm having to get Tony in, y'all, this is going to be a long show. I'm all confused over here with
All
the
right.
letters and names
We
and
got
numbers.
it. We got no. T is Z. That's it.
Well, yeah,
T is
but
Z.
I'm also T, and he's a T, and then there's a Z. So
well, then you got to put M
I
for
got
Mexican.
it. It's easy. Yes, we're gonna have to.
I mean, that's the only
We're gonna
way.
have
That's
to.
the only way to do it. Is
Like,
put M for Mexican.
Tony, are you offended if I put M over here?
I am. I have very thick skin. I've been through a lot. I don't give
I've
up.
been
crap.
through a lot. Don't worry. It was a long journey to get here.
all right.
Don't start.
Go. We're never gonna
Okay.
get this show
All right.
done.
The next clips on my sheet.
I know
is
it's
Trump.
It's Trump.
It's all Trump.
Yeah, I didn't reorder it. I'm sorry.
Okay, all
because we
right.
added like 7 things to
Okay,
this.
so let's show Haley. This is Nikki Haley on Trump. Do you believe Trump has the character to be president again? Here's Nikki Haley's thoughts.
His way is not my way. I don't have vengeance. I don't have vendettas. I don't take things personally. For me, it's very much about no drama, no whining, and getting results and getting them done. So I don't think that President Trump is the right president to go forward. I think it's time for a new generational leader that's going to go and make America proud again. His way is
Yeah, exactly. She sucks. What I was laughing about is somebody said,
I thought Todd was Mexican.
Todd was Mexican.
Yeah,
no,
I saw that too.
Todd has got this Jersey Shore,
I'm not.
orangey looking complexion.
And guys, I
I'm
don't tan in
Casper.
bed.
I'm Casper.
This is natural.
Did you just say you don't tan in bed?
No, I don't tanning bed.
Oh,
I don't
tanning bed.
bed.
Okay, all right.
This is just natural.
Either way, okay. Here's another clip of Nikki Haley up next, and we'll just get through her really quick because we have a lot of things to talk about. This is her. This is Brian Cranston. Okay, so this tells you where Brian's at. Nikki Haley is clearly winning this GOP debate thus far. Not only is she beating DeSantis by a considerable margin, she is beating Donald Trump, who's afraid to actually face her. If Trump isn't willing to debate on his own party, then why would you want him leading us against foreign adversaries? God, I hate this dude. Play the clip.
I wish Donald Trump was up here on this stage. He's the one that I'm running against. He's the one that I wish would be here. He needs to be defending his record. Right now, he's not defending the fact that he allowed us to have $8 trillion in debt over 4 years that our kids are never going to forgive us for. The fact that he didn't deal with China when it came to stealing intellectual property. The fact that they gave us COVID. The fact that they've gone and continued to put up Chinese police stations and continue to threaten our military. He didn't do
Look
enough
how
to make
awkward
sure that we
DeSantis
I
were
was
really
just
standing
about
with
to
our
say
friends
that.
and doing some other things. What we need is a leader that's not looking at 4 years and 8 years. We need a president that's looking at 20 and 30 years because I want my kids to have a good future. I wish Donald Trump.
All right, there we go. Yeah, so again, the only thing I can go to is how awkward DeSantis looks
He
there.
God, he's so robotic, man.
But let's get into the actual person who actually has a shot and who is going to be the Republican nominee. Let's listen to what Trump has to say. This is in regards to wars. He's the first president in 72 years that did not get us into a war. Let's watch that.
I think he had very little chaos. I think most of the chaos was caused by the Democrats constantly going after me. And remember this. Remember that with phony, Russia, Russia, Russia. I mean, if you look at Ukraine, 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 everything was phony. The FISA warrants, the lying to Congress. They had chaos. They were the ones that caused the chaos. We didn't have chaos. We got the biggest tax cuts in history, the biggest regulation cuts in history. I had no wars. I'm the only president in 72 years. I didn't have any wars.
Very
And
true.
that's huge.
Yeah.
Like taxes great. Jobs great. The fact that he made it through 4 years without a war, That's massive.
No, I
Like,
agree.
Massive.
This next clip is about illegals in New York City. And this is no joking aside. Once this is done, I really want to get Tony and his perspective on here. He's not just here as some kind of gimmicky prop. He actually has very, very real world insight to a lot of things. And we are excited to have him on the show to be able to talk about things that we can just report on it, but he actually knows about it. So this is Donald Trump on fixing the border crisis. Crisis. So here we go. Play it.
Got it.
We have millions and millions of people here. It is not sustainable. Did you see in New York City where they're getting the regular students out and they're putting migrants in their place? We are going to have the largest deportation effort in the history of our country. We're bringing everybody back to where they came from. We have no choice. We have no choice.
All right, Tony.
Yes, sir.
From your perspective, how do you feel about this border crisis in general? But did I say B first? Dang, I'm off. But either way, B, what do you see and what do you think when you see all these images and everything coming out in New York where they're taking kids out of school and put the illegal immigrants in the schools because the illegal immigrants, they're out of, places to put all these people that are just pouring into the country. Do you have family members that have things to say about this? I mean, what's your thoughts? I mean, what's the reality of what's actually going on?
I do, and I've actually been in contact with some of my friends and whatnot, and family members, and just talking to them about it, and they're just in the same mindset I am. Is it's unsustainable, and it's not fair that they're able to come to this country and not have to go through the legal process of being in this country the way that my family and other family members of my friends have. And the fact that, they're letting all these illegal immigrants in, not to say that, they're all looking for making a better way for themselves, which everybody, understands, but it's not sustainable when they're just letting everybody coming in and, taking people out of their hospital beds or out of the schools to be able to help them and not help the U.S. citizens. And like I said, the opinions that I've gotten from my friends and family is just that it's just not sustainable. I mean, pretty much that's what it comes down to.
Does it make you upset? Like, because the mainstream media wants people to believe that any good-hearted person is all for the open borders. Is there animosity towards people like yourselves that did it the right way and went through the right systems to become, citizens of America and American citizens? I mean, you were born here, but
right, yeah. And to add, and I'm going to just ask this is kind of a different way Graham did. When I was recruiting in North Carolina, I come across this guy that wanted to join the Army, but he couldn't. He was from the Congo, like literally. Born and raised in the Congo. He was granted asylum in America. Like, he lived, and if you've seen that movie Tears of the Sun, where the militia was just murdering people, I mean, he lived through that. His parents got killed in front of him, and he hated people that come to America illegally. Like, he absolutely, and I know hate's a strong word.
No, it's not.
But I mean, he dude really did. So, like, how do you, like, your family, you're here, you did things the right way, your family did things the right way. How does it make you feel to see people coming, the wrong way, I guess you would say it?
Well, again, I don't know if animosities is the word that I would use to talk about the people coming in. It's more of trying to do things the right way, because if you use the analogy of opening up your home to, let's say, even just 100 of the immigrants, your supplies are going to be drained, pretty quickly. And it's like, I just keep using the word that my friends and my family have told me, it's just not sustainable. You cannot open your house, which is what the United States is for us, our home, to all these immigrants coming in and not have a sustainable way to help them.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that we can do to help people, and we just can't help everybody.
True.
So
I mean, yes, I agree, and I think we've all said similar things, but but to hear it from a perspective of, someone who can speak to it for a perspective that we can't. That's why we're glad to have you here in the seat. All right, last Trump clip, and then we got to get into our sponsor for the show. Comment in the chat. I want to see the chat blow up here. This next clip, Trump dropped a bombshell yesterday that he already knows who his VP is going to be. Blow up the chat. Let's see if we can break this thing. Who do you think Donald Trump's VP choice already is? Here's the clip.
Who would be in the running for vice president?
Well, I can't tell you that, really. I mean, I know who it's going to be.
Give us a hint.
We'll do another show sometime.
Well, what about any of the people who you've run against?
Play it again. I already know who it's going to be.
I know who it's going to be.
Give us a hint.
We'll do another show sometime.
Well, what about any of the people who you've run against? Would you be open to mending fences with any of them?
I will. I've already started like Christie better.
Christie for vice president?
I don't see it. I don't see it. Christie for vice president. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce.
I do want to get to this other.
All right, so before we get into our sponsor for the show, real quick, I'm seeing a lot of Viveks, a lot of Gnome. Look, listen, guys, I really hope it's not Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, that's probably going to make some of you upset. And once we get to the break, comment in the chat who you think it's going to be, and let's get into our sponsor for today. Here's Todd's first attempt at it. Here we go.
Hang on. I clicked the wrong button.
Do it.
All right.
You got it.
I got it. Here we go.
Boom. All right. Blood clots, myocarditis, miscarriages, and now turbo cancers. Many people, myself included, are looking for answers, and we know those answers will never come from mainstream sources. Instead, truth-seeking doctors like my friend, Dr. Peter McCullough, and his team at the Wellness Company have come to the forefront to provide answers and hope. The burning question these doctors get asked daily: how do I get this out of my body? This is the spike protein, a lingering threat from both the virus and the vaccine, linked to all kinds of long-term health issues, many of which we're only learning about in real time. The spike protein causes inflammation and wreaks havoc on the immune system. But now, thanks to the Wellness Company, there's something we can do. Spike Support Formula is unique blend of natural ingredients designed to block and dissolve COVID spike protein. Vaccinated or not, spike protein consumers report increased mental clarity and energy levels. All you got to do to reclaim your health is go to twc.health/Graham. Use the code GRAHAM, that's GRAHAM, for 10% off at checkout. That's twc.health/Graham, code GRAHAM today. And we're back. All right, everybody, give Todd a round of applause there. Yellow button yourself for his first ad break in the system there. All right, here we go. So back to my point, and continue to comment who you think the vice president pick is going to be, since Trump obviously already knows. As internet breaking as it might be for Tucker to be the pick, one, I don't see him doing it, man. Tucker just started this news channel. Tucker's making so much dumb money. I just don't see it. I don't see it addressing the issue that is Trump does have a suburban housewife issue in voting.
Yeah.
Me and the Trump team have talked about this, and I already know some of you are going to be like, not this suburban housewife. I'm voting for Trump.
He does.
Look,
He does.
I get it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying no suburban housewives like him, but it's got to be, if it's not a woman, it's got to be somebody. It's got to be somebody like a Vivek, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I have no idea. All right. I have no clue who Trump's going to pick. I can't even begin. But the more I think about it, and I thought about it last night, I've thought about it all week, actually, I really want to see Sarah Huckabee Sanders, man. I think that would be perfect.
That could be good.
Like, that would be perfect.
Oh, no, I'll give you that. That could be good. That's something I haven't put a whole lot of thought into, is Sarah being the thing. But it goes to the same thing. The backlash of just becoming governor of Arkansas, and then literally 2 years later turning around and all that stuff. I don't know. I just sometimes timing is everything.
Right.
Kind of like finding the new coach for Alabama. I mean, there's a lot of good candidates, but timing plays an aspect there too.
Hey, what about somebody like me? I mean,
Tony?
Tony.
I could be right behind them, and like like those vatos locos are always like right behind each other, and Trump's talking, and I'd be right behind him, like hey, what you mean you're trying to start a war? What are you talking about?
Yes.
Tony could provide instant translation
That's
to the
exactly-
Hispanic
that's
community.
Absolutely.
Tony could be the illegal immigrant delegate or something like that, where he
something.
goes to try to convince people to go back
Yeah.
and like come through the right gate, like go back and do it again. Oh gosh,
That's beautiful.
We're gonna get in so much trouble.
God, we are.
But
I ain't gonna be able to clip none of this show.
Tony is no. Yes, we can because just like we got
got
Tony
Tony.
here now. Tony.
Okay.
We didn't say that.
Yeah.
Tony said that.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be clear, I am not gonna get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah. And also, just to be clear, even though it looks like it, Tony is not 3 feet tall. Like I don't know. I don't know why you look so short in the camera thing.
I mean, I'm
here,
gonna go to the Let me look how he
Yeah.
looks tiny.
I'm actually like 6'9". I just don't know why I look so.
It's the chair, man. It's the chair.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to get a high chair.
Okay, all right, here we go. All right, so we got to give updates about shocking information that's come out for this Trump indictment in New York. The one with the judge, Agneron or whatever his name is.
Ogeron, whatever.
It's not Ogeron.
Whatever.
Agneron, and to remind you guys, because there's so many indictments at this point, this is the one where this judge, who's not a real estate mogul or anything like that, just said that Trump lied about how much Mar-a-Lago is. And it's like, Mar-a-Lago's not worth $1 billion. Pfft, I wouldn't pay any more than $19 million for Mar-a-Lago. So therefore, you lied and committed fraud across the board. So these are emails that were obtained, and Todd has read through these. So I'm going to let Todd work you through how bad these emails actually are. Todd, walk us through it.
Got it. All right. So basically, in the premise here is Donald Trump lost his mother-in-law, and so they were asking for an extension on the closing arguments. And as you can see, the emails here start, Mr. Keiss, as I've already indicated to you, if Mr. Trump wishes to speak pursuant to CPLR 321, you will have to tell me now that he will agree to the limitations I have imposed, meaning that, he can't talk about this, which go without saying and apply to everyone, and he will have to agree to do so tomorrow on the record, which should take no more than a minute or two. The response, Justice, and whatever. This is very unfair, Your Honor. You're not allowing President Trump, who has been wrongfully demeaned and belittled by an out-of-control, politically motivated attorney general, to speak about the things that must be spoken about. The judge's response: I'm not going to debate this again. Take it or leave it, now or never. You have until noon, which is 7 minutes from now.
Wow.
I will not grant any further extensions. Then the judge replied again and said, not having heard from you by the third extension deadline, noon today, I assume that Mr. Trump will not agree to the reasonable, lawful limits I have imposed to a precondition to giving a closing statement above and beyond those given by his attorneys, and that, therefore, he will not be speaking in court tomorrow.
Wow.
I'm just going to go to this one little email right here, and Graham, not Mexican Tony, does this sound like somebody that is in the judicial system as high as a judge to speak like, you have until noon, which is 7 minutes from now, take it or leave it, now or never?
And to send it in an email.
Yeah, an email.
So you're sending it in an email that somebody's got 7 minutes.
Yeah.
An email.
Yeah.
Sometimes
7 minutes.
emails get
Take
lost on the
5
way.
minutes
It
to
takes
go.
5 minutes to even
Yeah.
freaking get there.
I mean, dude, this guy needs to be stripped. He needs to be disbarred and completely removed from the bench.
Well, remember, this
Like,
is the
period.
same guy. This is the same guy who, in resurfaced clips, said that he believes that lawyers and judges should have complete and total immunity for what they say about people to protect them from, like, defamation suits and all that stuff. So basically, lawyers should be allowed to go in and just blatantly lie and say whatever they want to say about whoever they want to say it with no repercussions whatsoever.
And they should be able to overturn the jury because he said, quote, the jury doesn't always get it right.
Correct. All right, so moving on, there's been more stuff here. So did we ever get it figured out, the videos, or are we moving on?
There weren't videos.
Okay,
on that.
so one thing is Trump wanted to be able to do closing arguments.
Yeah.
His own closing statement, I recall.
Well, So, you know, the judge imposed a ban on things he couldn't talk about. He couldn't talk about the attorney general. Basically, he couldn't talk about the political farce that was going on, and that was going to be included in Trump's closing statement.
Right.
And the judge said, I don't care. You're not going to talk. The ban, the bar is still in effect. So if you can't make a closing statement without making a political argument, then you're just not going to make one.
Interesting. Okay, and then also, as many people know, Melania Trump's mother passed away, and our thoughts and prayers go to Melania during this time. This is Representative Jim Jordan. Okay, so for those of you who are unaware, President Trump's mother-in-law passed away. He asked this same judge to delay closing arguments in his civil case because of it. So, I don't know, they could attend a funeral, and all these other things. And the judge said no. So a lot of people, made a big stink about, oh, Trump's not with Melania by her side during this time when her mother passed away. Well, he legally wasn't allowed to be next to his wife's side during this time frame. Okay, this is something interesting. We're going to do this real quick, and then we got to get into this Aaron Rodgers stuff, man, on ESPN. It is crazy what's going on. Actually, ESPN, we got a bunch of stuff about ESPN.
Yeah,
we got Stephen A. Smith losing his mind on Jason Whitlock from the Blaze. We got all kinds of stuff coming on. But real quick, this is just an article. We're not going to read about it like in general. We all know the basic thing. Obama is ever growing more loudly to people within the circle that he is very, very worried about Trump beating Biden. Report says it would be incalculable.
As he should be.
Damage. So, Tony, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's not unknown that in your life you have probably in your inner circle more people that lean center left or some that are like way left, right? Not that I have a problem with any of them. And Tony can attest to this. They all have problems with me. like I got no problems with being friends with anyone, but it's just, to me, it's amazing but that's not the point. Even within people, like they're voting for Biden no matter what. Like no matter what. Are they worried? Like, do you hear people concerned about Biden at all? Or is it really this thing of like Biden's the greatest thing ever and no matter what he does, like we don't care?
I think that, and again, just from speaking to my friends and family, I don't think anybody cares what the Republican Party does. They're leaning towards the Democratic Party, no matter if they raise their taxes 100%. It's just the mindset that they have until they actually start looking at the reality of what's going on. Wow. And again, for me, it all has to do with dollars and cents. To me, the country was running better when Trump was in office. And I particularly don't lean right or left. I'm usually in the middle. Yeah. But I just vote for who I think is going to do a better job running the country. Yeah. So
another reason why Tony is on this show.
Yeah,
somebody to disagree with us.
Yeah.
If there feels a need to disagree. I think that's a very interesting point though, because that's what I've noticed. We've talked about this off camera. Sometimes we get discouraged because it's like, man, no matter what we bring to people's, like knowledge, like, hey, this is going on.
They don't care, man.
They do not care. Look, I've said it before. I know President Trump personally. I've been to the man's house. I've been to his office. Like we've had conversations. If you showed me ironclad evidence tomorrow, Donald Trump was having sex with little girls on Epstein Island, lock him up. Like, I'm done. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm out. Like,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I mean, and to me, it's just this interesting thing that there are, they claim that we are the insane people.
Yeah, right.
That are just loyal, to Trump's like this godlike figure. No, he's not. Like, if you show me now, is Trump a perfect, imperfect figure that's right for the times? Yeah. Read a little bit about Ben Franklin, people. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Buddy,
Like,
yeah.
Ben Franklin, look, let's call it what it is. Ben Franklin was a sex addict. Okay, and he would disappear off into France for months in sex caves before the Revolutionary War. But it was Ben Franklin's connection to France that got the French to come help us out in the Anyway, I'm not saying these people are perfect. I'm saying it's right people for the right time. All right, moving on. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about the Jason Whitlock, Stephen A. Smith stuff real quick. So Stephen A. Smith comes out yesterday, and shout out to the Blaze. As everybody knows, I used to be on the Blaze. I'm still good friends with everybody there. So, you know, you come after the Blaze, I got to at least talk about what's going on. So Jason Whitlock is a real Christian guy, but he's more of a sports show-esque kind of thing. And this is what he had to say about ESPN, because we all know ESPN's been bought by Disney now. Here's what he had to say about that, and specifically Stephen A. Smith. So let's listen to that.
Stephen A. Smith is the Kevin Hart of the sports media. Smith is a plant. Disney and ESPN installed Smith at the top of the sports media world because his inadequacies as a journalist make him easy to control.
He ain't lying.
When I listened to Cat Williams talk about Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey, my mind immediately drifted to Stephen A. Smith's memoir. Smith's story just doesn't add up.
What they're not telling is I only played one game because I cracked my kneecap.
1.5 points per game. How do you average that in one game? Is there a 1.5 pointer in Division II basketball? How do you do it? It can't be done.
My nigga.
God.
We
It's
apologize
an
for that. We did not
impossibility.
put that
And
in
I
there,
know I'm
just
not great at
FYI.
math, but you can't average 1.5 points a game in basketball in one game.
My bone cracked in half. My first year at Winston-Salem State.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Are there two Stephen Smiths that played at Winston-Salem State?
All
'Cause
right,
one
all right,
guy,
bring it
of
down.
course-
So you guys get the idea. First of all, we did not edit that. Just to
At
be
all. Not
clear,
us.
we did not edit that or put those in there. We do apologize. I did not know, especially that one clip was
I
in
didn't
there.
either.
All right, either way. So this was something talking about the fact he's calling Stephen A. Smith a liar about scoring 1.5 points a game or something after he broke his leg or something. You know, man, sometimes in the public life, you kind of let things go a little bit. But Stephen A., here you go. This is his like just unhinged rant in response to this. So let's listen to what he has to say here.
Jason Whitlock.
I love the music.
It's not a name I've uttered. I normally don't do that. But it's necessary to do now.
Is this a rap?
I've had enough of that fat bastard. That piece of shit.
It's bad.
And I want to make sure that before I go to break, I want anyone out there who watches me.
Is this a
anyone
rap
out there who knows
video?
Anyone out there, no matter what you think of me, I want you to remember, I never talk about him. I never talk about my colleagues. I don't do that.
You do that
This
all
is
the time.
First.
No.
Yeah. Sorry.
This literally your job.
And when I say don't talk about him, I don't mean don't talk about him literally. I don't like I'm about to do now.
Uh-oh.
I'm about to do now.
I literally called my pastor and asked for his forgiveness and understanding in advance. Because he's not
Because that
doing
makes
it.
Pause.
Because that
That
makes
is-
it okay.
That's not how that
not
works.
how this works.
Pastor, I'm just letting you know,
Yeah.
I'm finna go do something
This
real
is
bad.
not the Crusades where the Pope blesses you and allows you to go murder millions of
All right,
people.
first of all, we're gonna continue to play this. I can't get over the fact like this
Dun-dun.
this track
Dun-dun.
behind him. All right, play it. This is wow.
Person he's about to hear. I did the same when I emailed the bosses at ESPN. This is my podcast. I own and operate this. I do what I want on this podcast. But it doesn't mean that I still don't harbor a responsibility to at least give my daytime employers a heads up as to what I'm about to do.
Oh, Lord.
My sisters.
My sisters?
My nieces and nephews. My boys in the industry. Everybody that I could reach out to in time has been warned. It's time for me to address this. I'm only going to do it once. Because this bastard is worth less than a damn cockroach.
Okay, pause it one more time before he does this. This is over him basically saying, how in the world do you score 1.5 points in a game?
Like, I think this is a little much.
All right, play it. Good Lord.
He wanted my attention. He's got it.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So thankfully,
he basically
for the
ends,
edited version, we cut that out.
Yeah, he basically ends and just says, F you,
well,
blah, blah,
didn't
blah,
he
blah,
say
blah.
something like he had sex with his wife and all this other kind of stuff?
I don't know.
I mean, well, that's what the note one, Stephen A. Smith. That's why I effed your B, you fat mother. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
What would trigger a response like this? To me, it has nothing to do with 1.5 points a game. It has to do with what he said at the very beginning, that Stephen A. Smith is a plant put in there to perpetuate this racism, systemic racism on ESPN, all the above. I'll say it right now. I can't wait for Stephen A. Smith to come after me. Look, I think he's a very he's a Bama fan. Look, I think he's a very talented sportscaster, but he stokes the fires of racism every single day on ESPN.
Every day.
Flames racism just every day. Stephen A. Smith is one of the prolific figures that took ESPN and sports radio and sports, broadcasting and turned it into where they're talking more about society and culture than they're talking about sports.
Yeah, I never will forget. And I stopped watching First Take, the show First Take, after this particular segment. He started talking about Major League Baseball. And I'm a baseball fan. You're a Braves fan. I'm a Red Sox fan. And was just talking about how there were no black people playing baseball, how, the MLB is a racist organization and yada, yada, yada. And I'm sitting there going, like, 60-something% of the NFL is black. Now, I would venture to say 80 to 90% of the NBA is black. Yeah. And I'm not saying let white people have a sport. It's just like,
shut up.
Even when I was in high school, the majority of black people don't play baseball. Like, they don't. I mean, I can only...
Well... Not in America.
Yeah.
Anyway, look again, but this leads us into this Aaron Rodgers stuff. Okay, and so we played that to lead into the hypocrisy of all of these things. Stephen A. Smith can do whatever he wants because he's in a protected class. He's in a protected class. He can say whatever he wants, and he can say however he wants to say it, because not only is he in a protected class, he's talking about things that his employers at Disney and ESPN want him to talk about. And George Floyd, the COVID virus, all these kind of things.
And I'm going to ask you this question. All right, and I'll ask the viewers at home as well. All right, so if I worked at ESPN, okay, and didn't have a show, but just say I was a guest regularly on a show.
Yeah.
And I worked on this show, this podcast right here, and I come out and said, you fat blankety blank, F you, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Dude, ESPN I'd get an email that day.
But that's my point.
That day.
So to remind everybody what happened, I guess it was last week. Last week before the Epstein docs dropped or whatever, Aaron Rodgers was a normal appearance on the Pat McAfee show on ESPN. Pat McAfee, I'm pretty sure, started with Barstool, then had Pat McAfee 2.0, and then eventually got into the ESPN ring. And then Aaron Rodgers said that, watch, Jimmy Kimmel will be on the Epstein list or something like that, okay? That then led to a really long dialogue from Jimmy Kimmel, but this is just like a 30-second clip of it. You can see Jimmy Kimmel's response here.
A guy who went to community college then got into Cal on a football scholarship and didn't graduate. Someone who never spent a minute studying the human body is an expert in the field of immunology. He just put on a magic helmet, and that G made him a genius. Aaron got 2 A's on his report card. They were both in the word Aaron, okay? Yes.
All right. So, and then that led to Aaron Rodgers then basically going back and was this on Pat McAfee's show?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So this is long, so we won't play all of it, but we'll play some of it here. And let's play it.
Then we fast forward to this last week, right? And I said that a lot of people, and I'm quoting myself here, a lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't come out. End quote. That's what I said.
Talking about the Epstein
entire
list.
quote. Okay? I was referring to the fact that if there is a list, which again, this hasn't come out yet, this was just a deposition, right? And there are names on it, then that would be the second time that a soft brain junior college student, wacko, anti-vax, anti-Semite, purveyor, spreader of misinformation, conspiracy theorist, MAGA, whatever other things have been said by him and other people in the media would be right twice. Now, let me just say that
facts.
That is the truth, number one. Number two, I totally understand how serious an allegation of pedophilia would be. So for him to be upset about that, I get it. Did you watch the quote? Because that's exactly what I said. Verbatim what I said on the show. Okay? I'm not stupid enough, even though you think I'm an idiot, and you made a lot of comments about my intelligence, but I'm not stupid enough to accuse you of that with absolutely zero evidence, concrete evidence. That's ridiculous. So,
all right, pause. So go ahead.
What Aaron Rodgers was saying in that comment there, in that comment, what Aaron Rodgers was saying is that not that Jimmy Kimmel was going to be on the list, it's that him and the rest of the media did not want the list to come out. We did the article. We did the article not too long ago.
The list has not come out.
Yeah, at this point, it hasn't. And we did the article, I think it was yesterday, that said 80-something% of the late night hosts, bash, Trump, MAGA, and conservatives. That's what Aaron Rodgers was saying. He was saying Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, the rest of, and Jimmy Fallon, they don't want the list to come out because all their buddies are going to be on it. All the Democrats, the Hollywood, and all that crap. So, that's what he was trying to say.
So this is Pat McAfee. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you remember back in the day when MTV had that whole celebrity death match and they had like B actors boxing each other? Throw Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel in there.
Aaron Rodgers would beat the crap out of Jimmy Kimmel.
That would be...
All right, anyway, so after all that occurred, exactly on cue, here comes Pat McAfee yesterday making the announcement that Aaron Rodgers is no longer allowed on the show. Play the clip.
So Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, season 4 is done.
Yeah.
Complete season. There's going to be a lot of people that are happy with that, myself included, to be honest. With the way it ended, it got real loud. And real loud. I'm happy that is not going to be my mentions going forward, which is great news. We always, and this is legit, and I think I'm never going to act like people are out to get people.
Sure.
But throughout my life, there's been a lot of people that have definitely wanted to see me not
listen
do
to what
good
he says right here.
I'm an uber confident human being, loud. And if I think you're trying to hold me or my guys back, like, I'm an asshole, too. Certainly have zero. Don't need you. Hey, what are you? Nothing. Sweet. See ya. Keep it moving. So there were some people, especially when, I negotiate my own deal here. So going in, we knew that we potentially ruffled some feathers in about 3 to 5 professions that have a lot of power and a lot of say. And we understood it. We completely understood it. Coming into this. And over the last week, we have certainly given them all a lot of stuff to get mad about. and become loud about. We have messed up in that particular aspect. And by we, I mean, we're a conversation show. People are having conversations. We live in a country that has freedom of speech, but also you're going to have to deal with the consequences of your freedom of speech. So what I'm saying is we've given a lot of people who've been waiting for us to fail a lot of ammo and things to attack us for over the last week. And we would love to get back to the point where we just move on and continue to silence all the haters over here who can't negotiate as good as I can, all the people over here who can't create a show as good as us, and all the people up here who are just going to always be here, and they're going to hustle and do their thing, which I respect. But we need to do that, and that is our focus. That is our goal. And Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. He's a 4-time MVP. He's a massive piece of the NFL story. Whenever you go back and tell it, he will be a huge part of it. We are very lucky to get a chance to chat with him and learn from him. Some of his thoughts and opinions, though, do piss off a lot of people. And I'm pumped that is no longer going to be every single Wednesday of my life, which it has been for the last few weeks.
You get the point. So
I don't know if I like that.
I think Pat McAfee got pulled in and it's like, hey, we know you don't have a current out right now. So you either completely separate yourself from this or you're out of a job.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
All right, so we got to move on here. Last but not least, Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, the moment everybody's been waiting for. Hunter Biden walked in to Congress and he walked out just as quickly. I believe this was the moment Marjorie Taylor Greene
was called. Yep.
Was called.
The second she was.
So this is our video clip of this. This is the moment MTG was called up. Here's Hunter retreating, running almost as fast as he would run for a brick of cocaine. Here we go.
Miss Green from Georgia for 5 minutes.
And exit stage left.
Look at that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Did somebody say cocaine?
Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently, you're afraid of my words.
Whoa! Oh.
Who's saying?
I like to
oh?
reclaim my time,
Mace.
Mr. Chairman.
Is that Nancy Mace?
Wow, that's too bad.
Dude, that's pitiful, man.
No, to defend Hunter
I think it's
here,
clear and obvious.
To defend Hunter here, cocaine withdrawals is a very serious thing. So he needed to go snort one so he could function to come back and answer the questions. Okay? Look, hey, detoxing is not an easy thing, guys. Okay? Like, addiction is real. Hunter needed to take a little toot. A little toot.
He went to his locker in the White House.
Yeah.
And he came right back.
Correct. Daddy,
I don't
Daddy
know
had his fix.
I don't know about any of that, but he was about to get punked. That's why he left.
Oh,
that's
a
why.
fact.
All right, so this is in contempt. Is this just a post or is this a what? What is this? Oh, okay. It's just a post. Whoopity-doo. That means absolutely nothing. Okay, here we go. Here's Nancy Mace. Now, I got my problems with Nancy Mace. She's a congresswoman here in South Carolina. I don't know. She plays the political field really well. She makes some good stuff, and then she... But to be fair, her district is purple-ish. So, she is a representative of her district. But this is good. This is good. So this is Nancy Mace. Just play the clip.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Chairman Comer. First of all, my first question is who brought Hunter Biden to be here today? That's my first question. Second question, you are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here and...
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. chairman...
if the ladies recognize...
No balls.
No balls
None.
for Nancy Mace. Yeah, it was... I don't think anything really big occurred from this, but here's the biggest thing. An article has now come out. This is New York Post. When was this done? Is this today or is this yesterday?
The 10th.
It's yesterday evening. This article is, it looks like Hunter Biden is trying to sabotage his father on purpose. And I'm curious your thoughts about that. Comment in the chat and let me know what you think. Also, this is a point. If you like this episode, Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the follow button. Here we go. All right. So let's read this article. Is Hunter Biden's intent on sabotaging his father's 2024 bid for re-election? Another way of posing the question, if the president's troubled son wanted to draw maximum amount of attention at the very moment his father faces the most grave political punishment one could face of impeachment, stemming from an alleged Biden family international influence peddling scheme that Hunter Biden managed, it says bagman, but that's what it means, would he do it differently? The answer is no. If he wanted to cause his father the most problems in any way, shape, form, or fashion, this is exactly how you do it. Go up to the photo of him real quick and then go to the 3-shot of us and let's talk about this really quick. So, my thoughts are this, and I'm curious y'all's thoughts in the chat, but again, I think that article we read yesterday, I think that every single thing that is going on is, again, to lead the way for Michelle Obama. I got no more notes. This is me just purely talking just to talk. The more and more I think about that article we read yesterday, that the DNC has already canceled all the debates, so there will be no debates. He will just stroll into the delegates needed to be the DNC nominee, never having to debate, not having to campaign at all. And then in the convention in August, he's going to go in there. And I think, and the fact that the Washington Times wrote this too, this wasn't like Trending Politics or the Post Millennial or even Fox News. He's going to go in there and then he's going to be like, hey, I got health problems. You know, I can't be the person you need me to be.
Right.
But I got just the person that's going to take America into the promised land.
Well, it's the article.
Michael Obama.
It's the article that we did yesterday.
Yep.
All right. It's the interview that Michelle Obama did talking about how, how terrified she was. And then you turn around and then Barack comes out and he's saying, I'm scared that Trump's going to beat Biden. So, again, I'm not going to jump on the Graham Allen bandwagon here and say that Michelle's going to be the nominee, because
if Michelle is a nominee, I'm going to be devastated for the country.
Yeah, but man, you have been calling this for
But if she's the nominee,
years.
I will never let you or the world ever hear the end of it ever.
I'm not quite on that train yet, but I will say it is
Hey, if you think Michelle Obama is going to be the nominee, type a M in the chat. I'm curious.
Put the word Mike in the chat.
M, whatever. Like, blow up the chat if you think that that's true. Tony, I have a question for you, though.
Yes, sir.
What we talked about earlier, that no matter what happens, they're voting for Biden, even though I think deep down a lot of Democrats know Biden's a complete and total senile Alzheimer's patient. What happens if Michelle Obama becomes the nominee?
I think we're in trouble if that happens, because when Obama was in office, and this is not from me, it's coming from them, I didn't vote for Obama myself, but all of my friends and family, they thought he was the next Messiah.
Yep.
So if his wife/husband comes on and she's running, I think we're in a world of hurt.
Well, I think she's unstoppable, and like truly, if President Trump and his team are not preparing for this, I think it's a major mistake.
I'm sure they are, but this stupidity goes both ways. I know people that when they go into the ballot box that they just check D all the way down. They don't even read. They just D all the way down.
Well, it gives you the option.
Yeah.
All Republican or all Democrat.
And that, look, if you do that, you're an idiot. And Chris Rock said it years ago, if you vote on something without understanding the issue, then you're an idiot. Like, you're a complete idiot. And people, there are people out there that vote Democrat that have no idea what a Democrat does, stands for, believes in, or what their policies are, and their excuse is, well, I've just always voted Democrat.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
I agree. I mean that's it. That is the news of the day, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you guys enjoyed it today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for Not Mexican Tony. That is Todd again. Not Mexican Tony holding it down. And that is the intro.
What just happened?
You just hit the exit music. Or the intro music.
I meant to hit this.
Anyway,
That's
doesn't matter. It's done
still
now.
the wrong one.
All right.
I quit.
It is a work in
You're
progress
fired,
across
quit.
the board.
I hit the yellow one.
Comment in the chat for Tony. He did a great job holding it
Thought
down
he-
for us
absolutely.
today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a hard job doing the production stuff. So make sure to give Todd a round of applause.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Good job,
Guys, I'm
As
sorry.
we work through the departure of Zach leaving, we are going to continue to bring you this show, and so it's going to get worked out. It's going to fix.
I promise I'll be
But we
better.
appreciate you guys being here today. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that like button. We need every single person to hit the like button. If you want to, if you want to see us go live every time we go live, make sure to hit the follow button and go into the comment section and leave us an actual comment. We do try to go back and talk to you guys as much as possible. And then, of course, last but not least, make sure to share this with everyone far and wide. All right, Todd, lead us in prayer out of this thing.
All right, here we go. Father, we just we come to you today, Lord. We thank you for a good week. We thank you for all the blessings that you have given us, Lord. We thank you for blessing us with our brother Tony, new addition to the show. Hopefully, everybody takes a liking to him and the way that they did me. Father, I thank you for the family that we have here on this show. I thank you for the voice that you give us, for the ability to speak the truth, but also the ability to get your name out there, your word out there, and the word and the knowledge that your grace, your mercy, and your love is fresh and new for us every single day. That is fresh and new for people out there that are following this show, that are watching this show, that are hearing my voice, regardless if you're a Christian, regardless if you have a relationship with Christ or not, that grace, love, and mercy is still available for you every single day. Father, we thank you for your son, Jesus, and the sacrifice that he made, Lord, that we could spend an eternity in heaven with you. And, Lord, just be with us, lead us, guide us, and direct us. Help us to be a light unto this dark, dark world. And I ask all these things in your son's name, and all God's people said,
Amen. All right. And as always, I am Graham Allen. Stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And as always, stay free.